This is Will County's News Talk Sports 1340 WJOL. It is time for Money Talk, brought to you by our friends at NuMark Credit Union. Today, we are here to tell you a couple of really cool things. At the end of the show, we're going to give away a $25 Visa gift card compliments of NuMark Credit Union. What we do is we have a conversation with an expert from NuMark, and that person's going to give us some great information. Today's going to be a little fun, though. But some information that Jared spouts out on the airwaves here today will then be put into the form of a question in just a little bit, and we'll ask you that question. If you're the first correct caller on the Turk Furniture studio line at 815-254-7300, you are going to win a $25 Visa gift card. We also want to remind you that you can grow your money your way. NuMark Credit Union gives you flexibility with our Pick Your Team CD special. Earn 4.75 APY for terms of 7 to 9 months. Let them help you find a term that fits your needs. Call 815-729-3211 or visit a NuMark office near you. Well, he made his way down here from St. Charles this morning. That's a little bit of a haul. What, about 40 minutes?
Yeah, I would say so.
His name is Jared Farmer. Jared is the assistant branch manager at the NuMark Credit Union in Warrenville. Welcome, man.
Yeah, that's correct. Happy to be here.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Jared had nice stuff to come into the studio this morning, which is cool. But I think he wanted to kind of go back to his roots. You started off as a television reporter in Champaign, Illinois at the famous, and it is famous, WCIA. I think that's Channel 3, isn't it?
Yes, that's correct.
God, I know way too much about stupid stuff. Ask me something that matters and I won't know it. So good. So you were a newspaper guy or a TV guy. Cool.
Yeah, no, went down undergrad 2016, graduated 2020. So that summer, the pandemic was going on, really hectic. Wasn't able to walk during graduation, but, landed that TV job, did it for about a year, and I was like, what else can I do with this degree? And pivoted around, bounced around, and, here I am. I ended up in NuMark Credit Union. But yeah, no, it's happy to be back to my roots. I used to do a couple of radio shows back in the day, so.
All right, so you want to interview me, or should I interview you?
I like to be interviewed this time around.
All right, very cool. So, very cool how you got here, and I think that's so neat. Everybody's got a story. Rarely does someone get a job and keep the job. People, I think, move, what did I hear, like 6 or 7 times people change careers? It's like,
something like that, yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot. So, give us your duties as assistant branch manager in Warrenville. What do you do?
Yeah, so I'm the guy that typically makes the schedules. I oversee and track the overall progress and health of the branch from month to month. That's keeping up with like our sales numbers. And then the biggest thing is I'm making sure that every single member that we have coming in through the Warrenville branch is getting the best possible service that we can. It's a little bit of bragging rights branch to branch, so like it means a lot to us, to continue to uphold that tradition of good member service over here.
So your surveys come back strong, huh?
I hope so.
Yeah, very, very good. Well, you'll hear about it if they don't. So
yeah.
If you haven't heard anything, that's a good thing. So what we thought we'd do today is we're sitting here. It's October 8th. We are less than a month from Halloween, less than 2 months from Thanksgiving, and the only reason it's even further away is because it's late this year. And then Christmas, we're 2.5 months away. So, Jared, we're getting close, man. So why don't we talk some holidays today? You good with that?
Of course, yeah.
All right, cool. So the holidays are quickly approaching, which means a lot of people are going to be buying gifts, going on trips. So let's talk about the trips part of that.
Right.
Saving some money this time of year. What do you do?
So for me, if I know I'm going on a trip or I've got something planned in advance, like I need to know well in advance so that because the biggest thing for a trip being successful or something sort of falling apart at the seams is whether or not you've planned ahead for that trip. So whether that's making sure that your transportation options, what those are, where you're going, whether that's public or whether you've got a budget sequestered out for making some Ubers, figuring out the different food spots that you want to go to, what the price is going to be like for like places to eat. And also, of course, naturally making sure you know how many days you're staying so that you're not paying a little extra because you either overpacked or, you got to go shopping at some random store in whatever location you're at because you didn't pack enough. So it's all about logistics for me.
Yeah, it's interesting. I went to California. We did this Route 66 trip from Santa Monica to Joliet. We did it 2 years in a row. It was flip-flopped. And I did not do my homework on Southern California in early June.
Right.
It's cold. It's called a marine layer, and pretty much every morning for a few weeks, it's cloudy and it's cold. And I brought nothing but shirts like this, shorts. I froze, so I had to go spend $75 on a pullover that I didn't need because I got 20 of them at home.
Right. Yeah, no, and it's funny that you mentioned that, actually, because a couple years back, I took a little vacation over to the Bay Area myself.
Oh, yeah.
It was December, so, in my head, like, it's California. It never rains in California, right? So, I'm thinking it's going to be warm, beach weather. That's Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Bay Area is definitely a lot colder, especially around that time of year. So I had to basically get a whole new wardrobe, by the time I touched down there.
That was rough.
Yeah, I was down a couple $100, I would say, because, I definitely can't be looking bummy when I'm out on vacation either.
No.
Like,
you gotta look good. It's funny. There's an expression. I think it's the coldest winter I ever spent was the summer I spent in San Francisco.
Yep.
Because it's even chilly in the summer there.
Yeah.
It's hot. But no, I like that. Good idea. Plan as far as the dress, and logistically take a look at what the climate's going to be like. And it makes really, really good sense. All right. Now, when you're traveling, let's talk about some of the things people can do when they are traveling to save money.
Yeah. So the biggest thing is, I know for me, a good pro tip is make sure you have like a point of contact or somebody that lives around the area that you're visiting.
Okay.
I do that primarily because it's like you have a backup option in case, some like living situations don't work out. You got a buddy that you could stay with, but also because they're familiar with the area, they're not just going to send you to all of the big bright spots, that
Very
are
cool.
What's it called? That are just gonna, be there specifically for tourist attractions.
That's right.
So, like, you want to find those like little niche mom and pop shops that, that's where the real good stuff is at. So that way, you're not overpaying for a cheeseburger, right? You could, so yeah, like I would say having that point of contact, because ultimately they're gonna know where things are really at.
That's right.
And that tour itinerary brochure guide, it's going to give you a little bit of taste of the places that you're visiting. But if you want that more authentic experience, you got to have somebody
Jared, that was the word I was going to use. I've been lucky enough to travel a lot, all over Europe, all over the place. Not bragging, but just backing up. Folks, this guy knows what he's talking about when it comes to travel. If he knows as much about banking as he does travel, I'm all in. I'm going to the Warrenville branch, because you're right. We take cruises with WJBO listeners all over the world. Everybody wants to go. When you get off the cruise ship, everybody goes that way. To the right, I go to the left.
Right.
Disney World. When you walk into Disney World, go to the left. Don't go to the right, because everybody's going that way, and it's too crowded. But you're exactly right, man. Find those off the beaten path places. Those are the best places. I mean, the best places. And talk to the locals. You're right. Case in point, we're in L.A. Want to go to a Dodger game. I heard Dodger parking is brutal. Costs like $60 to park. So I'm interviewing this lady. She's got a Dodger shirt on. And I said, hey, where do the locals park? She goes, park in Chinatown. You got to walk about a mile up a big hill, but it's worth it. Didn't get stuck in traffic. Didn't have to pay $60 to park. So, man, you got it going on.
Yeah. And I mean, to your point, it's even like that in Chicago, you know, like if you're, especially because me, I live out in the suburbs. I'll be moving there this November, actually. Really excited about that.
Awesome.
But, it's like if you're going to do something in the city, it's like you got to plan ahead. Okay, like where's Spot Hero going to take me this time? And, you got to plan to get your steps in. So it's definitely about, like back to what I said earlier, like making sure you've got your ducks in a row, so when that time comes, everything rolls smoothly.
Amen. We're talking to Jared Farmer, NuMark Credit Union, Warrenville Assistant Branch Manager. This is Money Talk. A $25 gift card could be coming your way in a matter of just a couple of moments. All right, so specifically the holidays, some money tips now to save when you travel during the holidays, because that's hard to do.
So I mean, the biggest thing, like I was saying, it's all about, knowing people that are in that area. Trying to avoid, like, for me personally, like, I don't need a big hotel to stay in. I don't need the luxury hotel experience.
Yep.
I try and find that, like, Marriott or that what's it called? You know, those more basic hotel motel type situations,
like Hampton Inn or something like
right,
that. Yeah.
Right. That Best Western, you know, that those types of places that are going to be really cheap, so I can maximize, you know, what I'm able to do when I'm out there traveling. Of course, you know, avoiding those real big tourist restaurants, sticking to those mom and pop shop places. And, you know, the public has a lot of good activities. Like, for example, like, I'm a real big museum guy. I'm a real big, like, walk around and see the area type of guy. So, like, figure out what festivals are going on. You know, it's definitely going to be something free or something heavily discounted that's going on in the holidays. Take advantage of those, like, those off random Tuesday, Wednesdays that a museum's got like a $10 ticket.
That's true.
And I mean, shoot, same thing with theme parks too. You know, if you plan around in a way to maximize your budget, then ultimately not only are you going to have a great time, but you're also going to come back home with a couple extra change, you know.
Right.
That goes into gifts, that goes into something for the wife, the girlfriend, the brother, sister, etc., or even yourself. So yeah, no, just always be on the lookout for what you can fill that time in with that isn't just gonna drain you of all your expenses.
Yeah, you don't want to go home broke.
Yeah.
You want to go home broke and have big credit card bills. That's no fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of head, look around, keep your head up. Let's talk a little bit about some safety precautions people should take if they are traveling. That's always important. You want to be safe.
Right. And the biggest thing is, like, even though, you know, it's something that a lot of people might think that they overlook, like, make sure if you're traveling with friend groups that, like, these are people that you 100% trust, like, with your safety and with your overall well-being, you know, because, like, it's so many stories of friends of mine who, like, they lost their friendship because, you know, there wasn't a set, like, guideline or boundary for, you know, what's all going on during this trip. And, you know, if you're traveling by yourself, you know, like, have, like, situational awareness. Like, don't necessarily, it might seem fun to, you know, go to that club that's off in the street or off in the distance, or, you know, take that one carnival ride that, you know, nobody really talks about. But at the same time, it's about vetting, you know, and making sure that you're in an environment where you can still have a relative degree of control over your surroundings and your safety. As far as, like, back on the home front, you know, my parents got a Ring camera. I know I'm gonna get Ring cameras when I move to my place. So, like, definitely make sure you can have eyes on your place, even if you're not home. If you've got a neighbor that you trust, you know, have somebody house sit every once in a while.
Good idea.
Just to make sure that, you know, at home is good. And then again, in that way, that's what that point of contact is also for. So, like, you know which places you should and shouldn't be going, especially when you're down there.
Makes good sense. We've been on so many trips with a large group of people. I always say, guys, here's what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm going to have a blast. It's going to be better than whatever you have planned. But if you don't, if there's something, here's in specific detail what I'm doing. If you're not comfortable, then don't go, because I don't want anybody saying, oh my God, we can't do this. Well, you knew going into it that I was going to drive up that big mountain. I said that on the Slocum itinerary. We're going to drive up a big mountain. So don't complain once we're up on top of that big mountain and ruin it for everybody.
Yeah, right? No, if you're like, if you're going to Colorado or something and you're not big on skiing, like, maybe try the kiddie slopes for a little bit.
Or go to Arizona instead, so you don't have to ski.
Right.
What are you doing this holiday? You got any big plans?
So because I have to gather all my resources for my move out coming this November, I think I'm putting my holiday plans on the table for the most part.
Okay,
probably just gonna stick to doing something that's in the city of Chicago for now, but I do know that I've got a whole bunch of friends and family that are out in LA. Funny that we mentioned that, actually, because I'm planning on trying to make a summer trip, but, you know, naturally, best laid plans. We'll just have to see how it shapes out. But yeah, no, summer's usually my big go-to travel time. So.
Yeah, LA's cool. LA's neat to see because I'm not a big touristy guy. I like to go somewhere and just hang out on a beach and, like you said, see the off the beaten path. But there are some really cool, famous tourist stops that you got to see, like Beverly Hills.
Right.
You got to see that.
Yeah.
Walk the campus of UCLA. Oh my gosh, that's like
Yeah.
fantasy land. Malibu Beach is overrated, but you still got to see it. But yeah, the cool stuff. And the Hollywood sign, you got to try to get as close to it as you can without getting arrested.
Yep. Exactly.
I came real close to it. I don't even want to tell you how close I was to it. All right, aside from potential travel, what are you looking forward to most? You say you're moving. Are you buying? You're renting? What are you doing?
Yeah, renting.
Nice.
But holiday wise, I guess what I'm looking forward to. It literally I'm moving at the perfect time because I'll have no decorations. So like, I'm a big Christmas guy. My family's always been really big about going all out and decking the interior for the holidays. So, I'm going to get my Christmas tree set up. I'm going to have like all the different ornaments. I'm going to get a whole bunch of lights and everything. I'm looking forward to the decorating. It's the place I got. It's this nice place that's like, it's got a real good view of the lakefront.
Oh, wow.
So I'm just looking forward to sitting in my room and sipping on some hot chocolate and just enjoying the view.
Awesome, man. Well, I'm happy
some
for
Christmas music.
I love the city. I know it gets a bad rap. And while every big city does have its issues, Chicago does as well. But, man, it is gorgeous. I was down there a couple of Saturday nights ago. Yeah. And I tell you what, man, Jared, it's gorgeous. It's just driving, just wherever you go. It's a beautiful place, man. And I strongly encourage people to go there. Don't freak out about all the stuff you hear. Chicago's still the greatest city that I've ever been in.
I agree.
I've been in a bunch of them. All right, my friend, any closing thoughts?
I would say, like holidays are coming around. I know it can be a tough time for some people. So if you know somebody who is going through something or, struggling with a loss, don't be afraid to reach out to them. The world could use a lot more joy. And it makes that much of a difference. You would never know who might secretly be dealing with a lot of heavy stuff around the holidays. Because, I've seen family members. I've had my troubles, especially during the holidays. It's like, sometimes it's people that you want to see that you can't always see no more. And don't be afraid to reach out to those loved ones and, just be like, hey, I'm thinking about you. Merry Christmas. Happy Thanksgiving. God bless you. And, hope you're having a great time, great day.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said. His name is Jared Farmer. He's assistant branch manager at the Warrenville NuMark Credit Union. It was a pleasure meeting you, my friend. Thanks for coming in today.
Likewise.
All right, we are at 815-254-7300. The reason I'm giving you that phone number is because I have a $25 gift card to give away. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to ask a question right now, and the first correct caller on the Turk Furniture studio line, 815-254-7300, will get a $25 Visa gift card, compliments of NuMark Credit Union. I got two questions. If you're listening early, you'll know the answer to this one. If you're listening later, you know the answer to this one. What profession was Jared in prior to becoming a banker? 815-254-7300. I said it was in Champaign after he went to, I think, the University of Illinois, right?
That's correct.
ILL?
I
Had a baby. Nicely done. We're dancing together. Or where is he moving to? He's living in St. Charles. Now he's moving to where? 815-254-7300. You know the answer to either one of those. You're the first caller. You're going to win. Let's go to the Turk Furniture studio line. Hi, good morning. You're on WJOL. Who's this?
Hi, Scott. It's Ernie.
Hi, Ernie. Give me, what way, do you want to go the early question or the late question, or do you know them both?
Well, let me tell you, I'm a graduate of the University of Illinois, and I believe he was on the radio down there.
He was on the radio, but also TV. That's good enough, right, Jared?
Yeah, that's good enough.
You got it, Ernie. Nicely done. And Ernie, you are the winner of a $25 Visa gift card, compliments of NuMark. Do you know where the NuMark is in Crest Hill?
I sure do. As a matter of fact, I got to be heading in there this week.
Okay. Well, when you go in there, bring your ID and then just show them that ID, and you're going to get a $25 gift card. How about that?
Thank you, Scott and Jared. Good luck on your move.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ernie.